Alright, on day 36 here. In-game, of course. In real life, this would be probably about day 500, maybe? More than that. No, maybe around that number, a year and a half, we'll say. Where we left off just a few days ago, we had beaten two C1 outer teams, if I remember correctly, Curving Edge and Max Racing. We still have Elegant Wild, Galaxy Racers, and Departures to go. So, hopefully without too much trouble, we're going to knock them out. So we have a pretty good amount of credits here. Let's do this. Right now I'm wondering kind of just how far this Sylvia S14 can take me, especially here in this kind of difficult stage 1 area. We're going to start running into some of the tougher teams from here on out. Well, obviously I had trouble with Fine Drive, but even more so than that. Although I will say that, like, probably this part of, or stage 1 in general, especially the C1, is probably the hardest part of the game. Not only is your car really slow, and you don't have access to the best parts, but there are also corners, turns, stuff. As you'll see later on in the game, there are more straightaways, kind of just areas that you can really outrun, just outrun other cars based on pure speed. We're going to hope to do that here with Webdo, who is from Team Departures, driving a off-white Subaru Legacy. I suppose back then, when this game came out in 2000 I want to say, being net savvy, or a nerd, I guess you could say, wasn't as common as it is today. I mean, now that we're just kind of surrounded by the internet and such a permeating influence on all our daily lives, it's kind of a given that you have to be, or at least if you're younger, or if you're a young adult at least, it's kind of a given that you have to be proficient. Back then, though, is kind of, I guess it was seen as more of a specialty. Who knows? I mean, I was, what? When this game came out, I was like 4 years old, I think? I don't know. Hard to say. Oh, yeah. I just completely forgot. I avoided the boss, kind of, as at the end of last episode. I didn't expect her to show up too soon. And this is kind of awkward, because I think she went the wrong way. No, she's good. Yeah, this is our second zone boss, Speed Angel, who is also driving a Nissan Silvia S14, one that is also happens to be a lot faster than mine. Not like it matters when you hit the barrier. Wow. We just kind of caught a lucky break there, I think, because she is ridiculously fast usually, and it's kind of a shame that we don't get to see that, because she just kind of got wrecked by that barrier. That was the quickest boss race that I've ever seen, and kind of lucky that we got to kind of take part of it on camera. I hope we don't have to face another boss. Okay. Yeah, I was a little bit worried about that. But Speed Angel gave us a nice hefty payout. It's kind of a shame she went down so easily. She actually plays a pretty significant role in the later TXR games, as well as this one. She returns as a boss. And I mean, I know, this isn't the most story or plot-heavy franchise out there, even amongst racing games, but they do have a thread that they can follow, and they do take advantage of that. But for now, we're just going to move on here, take out the rest of Departures, hopefully, and the other C1 outer teams, of course. Here is Stockman. I'm starting to see a theme going on with the members of Departures here. Actually, no, I don't see a theme. I mean, there's like some specialty as far as their jobs. Maybe Stockman likes stocks, I guess. And Webdude is web savvy. I don't know. That's my best guess. Oh, stock. Okay, we got a nice, much needed bump there. I think he's our 4th member. So hopefully, if we can beat him, I think the second in command will actually come out. He's not giving up though. He's not too far behind. Kind of depends on how well I can take this corner. Gotta focus. Okay, that definitely could have gone better. I suppose it could have gone worse as well. He's pretty far behind back there. Okay, cool. This race is... Oh, he's catching up. Thankfully, in this game, you still do lose SP at a pretty significant rate, even if you're kind of close behind. Although, in my opinion, he's not losing it fast enough. Alright, a little drawn out at the end there. But we got a nice win on our hands. Ah, who is that? Is that Raging Demon? Is it time for me to get my payback? I think it is. Coming up behind, yep, that is unmistakable. Raging Demon. Alright, it's pretty clear if the last race with him was any indicator. I think I can beat him. It's just a matter of him not going the wrong way, I guess. I guess this spot's alright. We raced him pretty around this spot last time as well. I don't want to talk about how... Oh yeah, he's definitely still an aggressive driver though. That much is still true. Holding his own, and so am I. But I'd rather be in front than... Ooh, that's bad. Nope, cornered very badly there. It takes off. Oh, I think I see an opportunity. Here we go. I don't have a lot of SP to work with, so this might be... And I might have to focus on keeping him behind me here. And the corner coming up is not friendly. I think I've lost many a race there, actually. If my memory serves me right. It's all about when you brake, or picking the best time to brake, and I can never get it right. Ooh, that was bad. Oh, he's right behind me, gosh. Nope, nope, you're not getting in front of me. Not today. I didn't know he was that close, actually. That blinking is always stressful. Hopefully it doesn't influence the outcome of this race. He's not giving up, though. It's anyone's game. But I just gotta stay out in front. Easier said than done because I just crashed. Where is he? Where is he? I should have checked behind me, probably. It would have been the smart thing to do. But after a kind of arduous, drawn out, one of the more difficult races, I think, I got the win against him. And don't have to worry about him for the rest of the race, or for the rest of the game. Pretty handy payout, too. Not a bad deal. What I'm hoping is that this last Blue Arrow is the last remaining Galaxy race, you remember. Is it? Or they're driving an S13. Nope. I think this is the second to last, the penultimate Polygon Law member we have to face here. That's a Forest Green S13, I want to say. This is Toon Freak. Well, let's see who's the better Sylvia. But I'm not super worried, to be honest. S13's RC class cars, and it doesn't exactly help when you smack head-on into the barrier right there. Ooh, I would never have beat this game if it weren't for those barriers. They're a godsend. Now I can basically drive as badly as I want. I just kind of get antsy when I'm super far ahead, I guess. Since there's not much to do, I do like to mash my headlights, or my high beams. Maybe it can be explained that I just want people to get out of my way. I'm just forward. It took me a bit longer than expected, but we're here. Who's next? That looks like a Supra. And it is. Some strange headlights. I think one of them is actually not rendered properly because those headlights are uneven. This is Mr. Cool. I wish I was cool. I wish I was as cool as Mr. Cool. That was really bad. I might just cut that out later. His driving is definitely not cool though. Trying to ram me. I respect that though. You drive how you gotta drive to win. But that's not going to translate to a win unless I bungle that turn as badly as I did. It seems like he didn't fare any better though. And anyway, he's not super fast. Someone like Raging Demon would have caught up by now, but I've actually never driven a Supra in this game. In later games, especially in GXR3, they're definitely more viable. But I don't know about TXR0. I think there are very few cars in TXR0, as well as this game, that are really viable. Is it leader time? Yes, it is. Now, as my memory serves me right, this is not going to be a pleasant race/series of races, because here comes the leader of Elegant Wild in a raspberry Toyota MR2, and this is Red Racer. I guess that's accurate. I do like her. She appears again in TXR0, not in TXR3, but I like her name better in TXR0. It's 300 Mile Red Ruby. You gotta love that. It doesn't entirely make sense, but at least it's not as overly simplistic. Oh, that is dirty. Wow, I'm not a fan of that. She just took off like a rocket. See how fast she is? It's nuts. I might not have a chance here. Yeah. Notwithstanding, or a big crash on the upcoming dividers, and notwithstanding, that's not happening. Look at how far ahead she is. And there's the difficulty spike I was talking about. Got a measly 34 credits as a compilation, or as a compensation. Consolation, that's the word I was looking for. I said compilation, compensation, consolation, constellation. What's next? Anyway, I think it's time to go back to the garage. We're a little bit, we've been on the road for a while. Did get 6 wins though, it's pretty nice, accepting that 1 loss. Now, what remains to be seen is whether we will run into her again, or we're going to run into another leader, because her and Departures, the Departures leader, are not looking. It's going to be another Find Drive repeat, if that's a good measure of how difficult these upcoming races are going to be. Well, what can you do? Oh, I actually beat Speed Angel, so I might have gotten some new parts. I just didn't check. Oh, here's the final C1 outer team that I was not accounting for. This is Twister, and as it'll become readily apparent, they are a team. Oops, need to change the view there. They're a team that drives all RX-7s. I think it says in a later game that the joke behind their name Twister is that something to do with handling. I'm actually not entirely sure, and I don't want to butcher the joke, but I will establish that there is some sort of joke behind that name. They're also one of the top. Oh, I hate it when you catch on the side of cars like that, when you kind of just expect to skim past them. It's kind of like in Burnout when you're trying to go for the near miss, but you end up clipping them instead. It's pretty rough. Anyway, Groucho is one of the lackeys here, the not difficult lackeys, so I can kind of take it easy with that race. Get the nice 800 or so credits. Oh my gosh. Yep, since that wasn't Departures or, oh, okay, she went the wrong way. I don't even have to worry about that. On to the next one. Alright, here's another, oh no, this is a Wander. I believe the requirements for this one to come out is that you have to race on a day with a 3 in it. I think we're on are we on day 43 actually? I forgot, I already lost count. The Caffeine Freak here, I forget, I think that's an RX-3, I want to say. Not very fast if I remember correctly, but I don't want to eat my words here, so let's get ahead of him before I continue to run my mouth. Okay, that wasn't so hard. And he fell behind rather quickly. Now let's hope I can just take this turn well, or this series of turns well. That could have been worse, I guess. I hate that the mirror doesn't account for the stretch of highway in front, I guess you could say. Oh, we're on a collision course. That was bad. That was really bad. There he is. He's still behind me though. Kind of got lucky there. And don't go that way, because I don't want to draw on my hands. Great, perfect. Could have been worse. He's slowly but surely going down. Doesn't have it in him to pass me, I suppose. And that's that. After we pass a couple of taxis. Another nice handsome payout of 2,000-ish credits. We get his RX-3. Must have been tuned out, you know, to some extent, because that was a more difficult race than I anticipated. Next time I'm definitely going back to the garage though. See if I can take advantage of some new parts. And I haven't really modified my Sylvia yet either. I mean, I've obviously attached new parts to it, but I haven't messed with the gear ratios or anything really like that to really optimize it. Twister's really coming out in droves today though. Rich Rick here has an RX-7FD, I think it is. Definitely one of the cooler cars in the game, and I think one of the higher tier ones as well. Like it's quite good late game, I believe. I kind of had I wasn't really having my sights, didn't have my sights set on buying an FD, but I might check out the stats later, see if I really is a favorable car to use at the end of the game. Not here though. Rich Rick hasn't really put that much money into it by the looks of it, because I just smoked him. Battle music is still a problem though. Alright. Still haven't really looked into getting that fixed, unfortunately. Alright, no enemies in sight really. Time to look into those upgrades that I was talking about. Got a new name. Repulsive Eccentric. That's pretty accurate actually. Not just to my racer, but to me as a person. I don't know about the eccentric part. It's really hard to like gauge exactly how weird you are. You kind of have to depend on other people for that, to judge you for that. Yeah, okay, cool. We got I think that's our final engine upgrade available. It's pretty pricey, but it's definitely worth it in my opinion. So there goes more than half of our credits. Might want to look into buying some of these as well. My car is kind of unbalanced, I think. Okay, do I want the full weight down upgrade, or do I want, I don't know. That's also pretty pricey. I don't have much for anything else, really. Yeah, let's do it. And we don't have a lot of credits left, great. And to finalize that, we're going to save. Sorry about the jittery music at that part. Can't really control it. It's just kind of an indicator of the game saving. Alright. Yeah, okay, it's not day 40 yet. It's only day 38. We're going to go back out there. Making pretty good time. Hopefully we can run into another leader or two. Alright, so I had to go back into the garage more than once or an additional time. There was nothing but green arrows. I kind of forgot that about this game. They don't just kind of hand you new enemies right away. Sometimes you have to go out into the mini grid, you have to go onto the road and search for them, or you have to go back to the garage again and kind of restart. That's something definitely fixed in later games, but it's apparent here. We're racing another Twister member though. The other team members seem a little bit elusive. Also, I'm not looking forward to this because Elegant Wild's leader is going to come out after this, so... Oh well, maybe we have a better shot at taking her down now that our car's upgraded a fair bit. We got a different type of FD in the garage. I think what deterred me from buying the FD last time was the price. It's one of the better A-class cars, but there are even better A-class cars for less money. So maybe I can save up enough this time around and get it, because I think it would be a pretty sweet car to drive from the beginning of stage 2 until the end. Anyway, I haven't really been paying attention to changes in acceleration and max speed, actually. I know I just bought a new engine, but and I feel like it's faster. I mean, can't really tell for sure. It's just the she just blew right by me. That's fun. You gotta love it. The racing is definitely pretty wild as well. No pun intended, because that would be a pretty terrible pun if I said that on purpose. Now we can only hope through all... Oh, she went the wrong way. I should have taken advantage of that. I kind of reacted too late and I might have crashed into the barrier as well. No matter. That's our second loss to her. I guess third? If you want to count the one that was like, she challenged me and then she immediately swerved onto the other route. We have 3 blue arrows, nothing really to worry about. I just don't want to have Twister's leader on my plate as well, because Twister's leader is one of the other. Is just as tough. Also, just a FYI. Oh, yep. I was correct. If you beat all of Departures, all of the lackeys of Departures, and you don't lose, then this guy comes out, Mr. Late Night, who drives a very pink Porsche. That's really unique. There are not a lot of Porsches in this game. I think there might only be 3, and 2 of them are the second in command. And no surprise, they are pretty darn fast, which does not bode well for me, because we're about to get another loss. I kind of forgot about this, to be honest. Now we have a handful of problematic racers that we have to beat. Who is that? I think that's someone from Diamond Image. That was about 30 seconds. I crashed once, and that was that. There's no one else to race against. I might challenge him again, actually. This is I do like this spot a little bit more than where we were previously. Or I might check who's up there, just ahead of Mr. Late Night here. I love that Porsche 911 though. I don't think it's the easiest car to drive or to tune, because you might actually have to tune it to really get the most out of it. You can't just slap on a bunch of upgrades and take off, like I'm doing with my Sylvia here. Crazy that the leader doesn't even drive the Porsche, it's just one of the regular team members. Who is this? Oh, okay. Alright. I'm kind of wanting an easier race right now, so yeah. I think we're just going to take on Arrow here. I think that's Corolla 11. I forget what kind. It's obviously not the one that the people in Rolling Guy drive. But this is the last one, or the last Galaxy races, remember? And then it's leader time. Alright, nice drift. As I kind of predicted, he goes down super easily, which is nice after 2 straight losses. Alright, time for a leader that we can beat. Here comes Galaxy. Here comes the leader himself. I think that's also a Corolla 11. Lime green this time though instead of yellow/gold. This is a nice guy. Maybe he's nice enough to let me win. Or maybe that also won't be necessary because he did not take off like a rocket at the start of that race. I feel like I could have easily cornered that better. There's a specific way to my favorite way to corner that little turn there is to stop even accelerating at a certain point. Just don't even hit the brakes, and you can actually take that going pretty fast. I was a little bit overcautious there. I caught sight of that car, but no matter. Now, unfortunately, the only teams left on the C1 Outer are the difficult teams. I'm not looking forward to that. So we're going to go back to the garage, freshen up. Maybe I want to turn the turbo up all the way because I'm just going to be racing some leaders from here on out. And I guess the rest of Twister, but we already took out 3 of them. I haven't bought the transmission upgrades, so I can't. So I can't adjust my gear ratios even if I wanted to. So we're a little bit more powerful now. Let's see if that helps us win some races. Maybe the reason that I kept losing in my previous playthroughs is because I just refused to turn the turbo up all the way. The trade-off is that, you know, your car gets slower faster, or you can't be out as long, or else you're going to suffer some very noticeable performance decreases. But isn't it worth it to do that if you can take down, if you're just going to be out for a couple races at a time, take down difficult racers and then kind of go back into the garage and refresh? I wish I'd realized that earlier. Anyway, I think I was hitting about 140 before, like pretty easily. Let's see if there's a noticeable performance difference. That purple arrow up there is Mr. Late Night. Cool, we're getting above 150 now, although there are some cornering issues. I have to beat this guy so that I can get Holy Wilds later to come out. I think I fixed my volume problem, but my music is just going to be a lot louder as a result. I just turned it up a few notches and the battle music's fine. Hopefully I'll prove that here in this race. Please don't crash again, thank you. That would be a pain. Anyway, this is attempt number 3. We'll say this is the third proper race that we have. The one where she challenged me and then veered away doesn't count. Let's see if this turbo upgrade pays off. I'm having some really bad handling issues though. Oh, jerk! Nope, this is looking pretty bad. Yes, no, looking amazing! Just kidding, wow. This is the exact same scenario with Speed Angel, and oh, she's roaring back though. That is scary. Just as short, the same mistake, but man, she was coming up real fast at the end there. That car accelerates like a monster. I don't even think with upgrades you can get that kind of acceleration. Okay, but thankfully we seem to just get pretty lucky on this playthrough right now. First with Speed Angel and now with Red Racer over there. Maybe the game's trying to make up for all the difficulty that I had with Fine Drive. Because that's two problematic teams down, 2 to go. Because I still have to take out Departures and Twister. I believe that red arrow up there, or the blue arrow, is from the Shinkanjo, which we'll tackle later, and the purple one is Mr. Late Night. I mean, my car's pushing 150 now, but I guess some of those handling upgrades would be pretty useful after all. I still have the stock tires. That might have something to do with it. They're pretty cheap too, the racing ones. The level 3 racing ones. Anyway, Mr. Late Night here in his fancy Porsche 911 911. The huge wing. slash spoiler. I do believe there's a difference. I was looking at memes on Instagram the other day. People were arguing about the difference between a spoiler and a wing. So there's definitely a difference. I thought the two were interchangeable. Anyway, he gave me a nice opportunity there. So I will gladly take advantage of it, but he's roaring back. Nope, 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 nope. Yes, thank you. Ooh, I just barely scraped by that truck. Alright. Can't tell where he is though. Just by the, I can only tell by the map. Ooh, that was almost killed me there had I not been paying attention. Alright, he does seem like he fell behind a fair bit. You gotta love the aggressive AI in this game. They're pretty apparent, by the way. They just love to swerve kind of every which way while still going like 170 miles an hour. It's often their downfall, like with Red Racer back there, and now with this guy. Didn't really pin him as the aggressive type. Unfortunately, that means it's leader time, and I do not have good memories of this race. Crazy that the entire team of Departures drives Imprezas, and their second in command drives a 911, and this guy drives a Legacy, and yet he is easily the most difficult member to race, other than maybe Mr. Late Night. Captain Sam here. I mean, it's explained in his bio, if you go into the rivals list, that he was a former police officer or something. He has some extensive knowledge of the roads. I don't know, I feel like the bios, like the racer bios and stuff that they go for in this game would be a little bit more compelling if they weren't so secretive about, like, hiding every racer's face, you know? I mean, I understand that street racing is illegal in, like, basically everywhere because it's hella dangerous, but it's all fake, you know? The names are so Americanized even. And we're getting kind of lucky here. Captain Sam is, crashing, and he gave me like that much needed speed boost. Wow, that was way too easy, to be honest. So there's one more team left on the C1 outer, but he was fast. I mean, he just kind of got bumped in all the right places, and he just goes down in one attempt. That's 3 leaders in one episode. Not bad. I think the turbo also really pays off. It allows me to stay ahead of the faster ones. Even if they mess up, I can capitalize more on the opportunities that I'm given. So let's save now that we have gotten them those essential wins. I do not want to revisit that. This guy here is the only blue arrow in sight. Down and out with a navy blue RX-7FD from Twister. I was looking at the rivals list, and I think I have to beat 2 more, and then I'll have to go back into the garage so that the second in command can come out, and then the leader will come out. I think Speed Angel is the only boss on the C1 outer, though. I also did forget to mention something a little important, that the boss that comes out, especially in, or mostly in stage 1, the bosses that come out, that was just very inattentive on my part. But the boss that comes out after you beat a certain amount of team leaders on these C1 loops is dependent on what type of car that you drive. So on the C1 Inner, Roadmaster came out because I was driving a B-class car. If I was driving a C-class car, it would have been a different boss. Same with an A-class car, and obviously the difficulty is scaled to the type of car that you're driving. So the Roadmaster was the middle of the pack, and so was Speed Angel, actually. I've actually never raced properly the C-class or the A-class bosses, or the ones that come out as you drive different class cars. I can't talk. But honestly, I have enough trouble as is. I mean, C-class bosses are easier, sure, but you also have a worse car to deal with, or a worse car to work with. So I guess it evens out. Anyway, hopefully this isn't too much trouble. I might have to just keep going in and out of the garage. At this time, the Blue Arrow actually spawned behind us, so I had to wait for him to pull over. But if this is Twister, right? Yes, it is. Eastern driving a RX-7 FC. I forget. For some reason I'm really far behind. This is a great opportunity to point out my racer name, Weird Eccentric. I seem to be stuck with the eccentric noun as of now, but weird is just redundant. I kind of liked my last one better, Repulsive Eccentric. I was able to at least relate to that one a little bit more, but Easterner is quicker than I thought. The RX-7 FC is one of the faster B-class cars, though. I cornered that one not so well, just kidding. I got reduced to a pulp on that corner. It's kind of underestimated this guy, because Twister, for the most part, has been pretty easy. But this isn't looking too hot. Yes, swerve. Yes, keep swerving. Yes! Okay, no! I lost so much speed right there. Where is he? Oh, he's right behind me. Okay, I'm blinking. This upcoming section isn't the easiest, and he did not lose a significant amount of SP there, so unfortunately, my hopes of him crashing did not come to fruition. Ooh, but I did not corner that very well. Where is he? Where is he? He's right behind me. No, don't pass me. Yes! I got the bump that I needed, but I hate this corner because I cannot take it well. Okay, that could have been worse, and he passed me. No! Ooh, frame rate, don't slow down on me. I suppose that made that pass a little bit cooler on his part, but I'm gonna lose now. Oh, it sucks. Alright. Well, at least he's not, ridiculously fast. I had a chance at winning there, I just couldn't corner as well as I should have been able to. I mean, I could always go into practice mode. But nah. We're just gonna try and beat him again. Although I'm not a really big fan of Spot. You'll notice I really only complain about spots when it comes to taking down more difficult racers. That's because, like, even in the spots where crashes are common or slowdowns are common, most races go down pretty easily. You can mess up a lot and not really have to account for that. But as you can see here, one mistake just cost me the race. And provided he doesn't mess up, which doesn't really happen in this section of the map, I'm toast. And I'm probably not going to see him again until after the race is over. Too bad, I took that turn pretty well too. Yeah, that's rough. Yeah, I haven't been on the road for that long. So that means I should be driving pretty well, or my car should be still at a pretty decent level of performance. So I'm gonna try one more time, and well, I mean, if this race doesn't make the cut, you'll know why. Here's hoping to no jump cuts right now. Yes, crash into the wall. Yes, very nice. That is exactly what I wanted. All according to plan. You can't really plan for a rival crashing into the wall, of course, but we can pretend that's what we can do. Okay, he's falling behind. Great. I don't know what he got caught up on, but all the better for me. Even better because I took that turn extremely poorly. It's closing the distance now, but it doesn't matter. Alright, cool. Only 3 attempts that time, not too bad. Now, is he the last one? Actually, I might have just counted wrong. Yeah, he was the last one. So, here comes the leader. That is very bright red RX-7 FD. And I'm a little bit envious, honestly. I kinda want that car. Oh no, don't make me start behind the car. Okay, whatever. He starts right behind me. How do you pronounce that? The Hell Lion? The Hellion? What is a Hellion? I wish I knew. It would make it look less dumb. But he is right on my tail by the looks of it, and that is not surprising at all. And here comes this extremely problematic corner coming up. I mean, no, that's not really what I wanted. But he hit the car. He's still ahead of me, but he has half SP, so I might be able to grind this out. I'm keeping pace with him at least, not losing too much ground. Hit something, hit something. Sad that that's what I'm hoping for. No, not me! Oh, that's probably it. No, but I'm still kind of catching up, and every time I'm starting to catch up, I kind of blow it on a turn. It's not looking too good for our hero, the weird eccentric. Yeah, no, that's it. I messed up too many times. Had some opportunities to close that distance there, but I was just too focused on. I was too focused on catching up as fast as possible. I wasn't playing that very smart, so that is definitely on me. Hopefully this will not be another 40-minute endeavor like it was. But we have a decent amount of credits now. I'm going to take advantage of some of those nice parts that we haven't bought yet. Oh, I do have something other than the base brakes. Didn't know that. Might be clutch, but I'm driving on automatic right now. That's probably not that big of a deal. Imagine that takes off 400 pounds. Yeah, those are the max upgrades we can get, so let's hope we don't have to race Easterner again because he was, or Mr. Late Night, to be honest. Those two are not my favorites. And this is probably going to be it for this episode. We've taken down 3 more departures, Elegant Wild. Oh, we will have taken down 4 in this episode alone. Galaxy Racers, Departures, Elegant Wild, and Twister, if I win sometime this next time. I do want to. It'll be a nice way to cap off the C1 for stage 1 for now. Okay, cool. Just gotta beat this guy. Alright, here's what I did, and I've been using this tactic for a while. After I beat the required racer, or the racer required for the leader to come out, I wait until we're in kind of a more favorable spot for this race to start, because this area of the track just has a bunch of curves in it. So I wanted to start. Actually, I mistimed it a little bit. I wanted to start in that curve, so I could have a chance to block him as much as possible, I guess. But this is still a much more favorable. Ooh, he hit the bus. Wow. Even I couldn't have predicted for that. But this is a much more favorable spot than that section, that upper section of the C1 outer. Just, I mean, I've already explained it, but the barriers and the cars and combined with like a more aggressive driver just makes this for an amazing spot to take down people like him who are, obviously very fast, and he just lost like half of his SP in the snap of a finger, so he must have hit the barrier, which is exactly what I was hoping for. And with that, the C1 outer is done. Yeah, no bosses. I guess it's time to move on to the Shinkanjo. I will go back to the garage and save, and that's gonna be it for this episode. That was very successful. Definitely had our fair share of lucky races and lucky encounters. But hey, a win's a win. So with that, I will see you guys next time.